and I dare say they'll be scoring in for most of the day.
And we're just about to hit it. The siren will, you won't miss this. Big Darren Jolly loses the first tap, comes out forward of the ball now. Quick kick forward by Harvey for Redan, quickly goes in. Grant drops what he probably should have taken, but recovers really well, but then turns over the handball. East Point tackled McLean, well done. And looks like we might have another stoppage in the middle of the ground. Anything you see in matchups, Phil?
Yeah, not so much matchups. It was a great first possession there and a quick kick forward where Isaac could have taken that mark and had a kick from 45 out. So a good start by Redan.
Jolly wins that one, goes forward, comes out to McLean, gets onto that left foot that we spoke about in the pre-game, and look at it again. Hits George inside 50, quickly plays on, goes to the arc. Sits it inside the goal square. Beautifully done from Stevenson. It got it forward, and I reckon that might have been Bell that's toe poked that through.
Certainly was. Great inside kick from Lockie George to Oram Stevenson, who had no intention to mark that football whatsoever, just getting it down to ground level where Grant Bell's a really skillful player and just toe poked him for a goal. So good start by the Redan Footy Club.
And Redan, 1 straight 6. We've only gone 2 minutes into the first quarter. East Point yet to score. That is on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Back in the middle. Again. Comes forward, missed by both ruckman. Hari kicked towards the 50-metre mark for East Point, trying to keep the ball in play but couldn't, and he has got a link there. It's quite noticeable as he picked up Phil, Jake McQueen.
Yeah, really good player, Jake McQueen, but one thing I've noticed is Matty Johnson's had his hands on the footy at both centre clearances already, so he's a really important player that the Redan Footy Club's got to try and stop. He's a really skillful player.
Now one of my favourites, the Henderson medal, Matty Johnson, the left ball, right on cue, gives the handball off, finds his brother in Geordie, knocks it forward, comes out, his tackle is the boy in Waterbury. And we might have a missed, again, this happens week in, week out. There's a number change here for Redan, and we'll try to pick it up. It's the ruckman that is rucking with Jolly. That wasn't listed as 35. Yes, it is. It's Brandon Green. That's all right. So we've got that right. Come forward to Grant. Grant, quick hands out. Looks for McLean. Doesn't make the right mark. Gets out to left. Goes onto the right foot with a beautiful spearing kick towards centre half forward. Now they're away on the left foot through the agency of Dodd. Should have marked what he dropped. It didn't take, was the big fella in. He's kicked that out on the full as well, and that is a Tarvey. Quite a surprise he's not playing tomorrow with Willie.
Yeah, I think with the rules of the VFL that only allowing 6 players under 23 years of age has probably hampered him at the moment. But a great inside kick by young Joe Dodd, very skillful player, and one that Joe should have taken.
Jenkins goes short to Atchison, still inside defensive 50. Atchison short, looking for Fitzgibbon. Takes a mark in front of Jones, who's another player that I like to watch, Billy Jones. Fitzgibbon, probably have to go up the line. No, he's going to square it in. Oh, just sticking out the one boot was the big fella there. Couldn't take the mark, was a Tardy. Comes forward. Now East Point are away, and it's that man Jones. Walks around Lockie McLean. Just a mongrel right foot kick inside. Jenkins, scrubber along to McLean, can't handle it clean, takes the ball out over the boundary line.
Really dangerous kick by, who was it? I think it was Pat Fitzgibbon. Just couldn't get too much inboard, and Joel got his hand and spoilt the footy and got it back into the forward line. So, those sort of kicks down the line, I believe.
Nice little touch from Jolly looking for Johnson, but it comes out to McLean, gives it off to Fitzgibbon on the right leg, goes up towards half forward. That's a beautifully weighted kick. Lukic gets his hand to the footy though, carries over the back. Now, taking on I thought he bit off more than he could chew as Brown. Ends up in the hands of Jones. Jones will square it back. Now they'll go out through the middle, and that was Carson. Looking for Jolly. Umpires pulled a free kick against him. They go to the Redan coach, and Jarrett G. and Polar goes out wide. Right leg inside from George. What a beautiful kick, but just able to chop that back was Carson. Underground handball, finds his teammate there in Nesta. Again, hurried kick comes back to Nesta, collects it, hands on the inside of Matty Johnson. He drops it, but able to get hands back off. Now they're inside 50 in a one-on-one. High kick forward, probably taken high, and the umpire has agreed. And that'll be a Tavi. Quickly plays on, has a player in Billy Jones, all on his own, just didn't get there. Taps it in front of Aberdeen, ends up in the hands of McQueen. Right foot snap goal.
Fantastic scrum of young Jake McQueen there. He's just a really good player that's got good skills. That injury didn't show up then at all, Brad, at all. He's
when the goals are around, they never do they?
Actually right, so, but he's a hard match up and good to get him back.
That's 1 goal apiece now on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. And we are still in the early stages of this first quarter. Nearly 6 minutes gone. And it'll be Jolly again in the ruck. I don't think he's played much senior footy this year, is Brandon Green. Ends up now coming into the front 50 again to Atavi. Wins the ball out over the back. That looks like it'll beat him over the boundary line. Now, they brought Britt into the side today, Redan, obviously for that job.
He's a competitive player, young Pat Britt. Just that dogged defender that does everything well most of the times.
Got a big job today. As tapped forward by that man, Tavi. Comes forward towards McDougall. Johnson's there. Comes out now to the hands of... Looks like that might have been Rodimer Onus. It is. Goes forward. Quick hands back out. Left foot snap. This goes straight up in the air. Britt stands under that. Punched away from him towards the boundary. It's kept in play. Matty Johnson with a squaring kick, but he's only found Christian Pola. They now will go to the outer side, out towards wing and half back. Dropping what he probably should have taken there was Green, which brings Jolly into play, but he can't handle it cleanly, and the ball will go out of bounds. Out of wing.
I think the match-up of the two big guys, in Jolly and Green, is going to be a thrilling one for the whole day. We won't see any jumping at the ball in the ruck or centre bounces, but I just think that physical presence of both those players will be a really good contest for the day.
Definitely a hard body to get around, isn't he?
Certainly, yeah, he's a big boy, no doubt about that.
Redan now, and it's Matthews, goes short. Just on the left half forward flank for Redan. They go inside 50 again. Comes off the hands of the big man Stevenson. He is a big man too.
Yeah, the big O. He's a good target down forward, and as I said, they'll just get it down to him all the time, and he's just a smart player to know where to knock the footy down and mark the football and give his forwards a bit better opportunity, but also do the ruck work down the forward line.
And he does it with Van Meel, and then makes some space, and Rodimer Onus is on the bottom of that. It finally flicks out. Hurried kick from Geordie Johnson along the wing. Now they'll square this up, and they've got a player on his own here in Dallenberg. Running half back play, he set that up. That's not a great kick. He was looking for McQueen, but he's ended up kicking it straight to Jess. Gives it off to Atchison. Has Harvey on the outside. Goes to him. Lowers the eyes with a beautiful kick. Drops. What he should have taken was Bell. Quickly, Chester gets a hurried kick forward. Comes off the hands of the pack. And another player in a different number. Chester normally wears the 19. Today, they just like confusing us, Redan. And Chester's running around in 16 today.
A little bit of wind still, Brad, I believe, out there. Look, there's been a few easy marks sort of drop. Just when the ball swirling around a little bit in the air.
What number did you wear at Daniel on in the old VFA days, Phil?
Number 13 I had a bit of a crack in, but...
did you wear that every week?
I didn't make it finals. I used to wear it most when I got elevated from the twos anyway, Brad, so...
It was, well, you were, just quickly, I want to get a few of these questions out to you today. Were you there in 91, the premiership year?
Yeah, I was, yeah. I was down that way at 91. Wasn't in the premiership team though, just one of those young fellas running around in the twos, experiencing the VFA footy back then.
That year it was, and so sad to see that club go down. McDougall gives the ball off to McQueen. High kick inside 50, well defended by Britt on Otavi, gets it to ground, but this is where Otavi's very good. Recovery at ground level, and he gets his first for the day.
Quick ball movement by the East Point Football Club. They got it down really quickly to Joel, and yeah, there was a bit of I thought Pat Britt had done a very good job in his contesting work there, but the ball just bounced the right way for Joel and just over his shoulder for a good goal.
Yeah, he's going to be a handful. I had a good look at him in the game that he did kick 17 yesterday. I watched the tape of that, and it's his recovery work at ground level for such a big man that impresses me. They've gone to 2 straight 12, East Point, 1 straight 6. Redan, we've gone 10 minutes first quarter on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
Close it up that middle too.
Jolly wins that tap, comes out the back, Lockie McLean paddles in front of him, slides into the ground, umpire says high. He'll take the free kick. Just backward of centre, goes onto the left foot. It's it up towards half forward, comes over the back of the head of Grant, East Point now, with a kick up looking for Whittaker on the far wing. Dan Polo's there for Redan. East Point asking for deliberate, and they get it by the looks of that, did they?
I missed that one. Really important player. That hasn't done much so far as Brad Whittaker. At centre half forward, he's just that sort of general down the hit up forward, and he's had a really good year for the East Point Footy Club. Look forward to how he goes today.
Yeah, the co-captain, another one as the ball goes out towards him in front of short, beats him over the boundary line. Another one I've been impressed with Whittaker. Yeah, did he come through your squads?
Yeah, it went through the under-16s, under-17s and pre-season squads, and he's just a really good character. He's a school teacher and a really good leader around the footy club.
Jolly hits it to the back, but Chris Giampolo wins it for Redan, finds Harvey in the long sleeves today, goes inside 50, just couldn't take the mark, was Lockie George. It's over the back, he's still a chance there though, with a beautiful tackle. He just stayed involved, and we'll have a bounce down inside the 50 metres for Redan. 12 minutes gone, first quarter, and the Ballarat Toyota live stream match of the day. Flicked out towards Matty Johnson. He's dived on it, so he might be in trouble here, but he was taken high. The umpire.
You'll see Matty Johnson get many free kicks like that throughout the day. He's always in the middle of the pack. He's just one of those sort of players that can play on the outside, but also can play on the inside as well. So, very good player.
Quickly plays on, 2 bounces, lows the eyes, finds his brother Geordie. They go back into the middle, ends up back in the hands of Matty Johnson. Brilliant follow up, again gets it forward, and you just can't stop that. Beautifully weighted kick, just able to use the body well was the big fella, and he is going to be a handful, Joel Otavi.
Yeah, it was a great kick by Matty Johnson to the right side of Big Joel, and just Joel's a strong man and just held off his opponent there and took it above his head. And he had a shot from that 45 metres out, that 45-degree angle, which would be a difficult kick to kick.
Eyes would have lit up when Matty Johnson runs through the middle of the ball in hand, that's for sure. As Otavi, not a problem for him, straight over the hat, the goal umpire, and he has his second, and I might run out of room on my paperwork for him today, because we're about 12 minutes into this first quarter, and Otavi has kicked 2 already. And now, the East Point side, very straight kicking from both sides, 3 straight 18 lead. Redan 1 straight 6, that is on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
Great kick by Joel Otavi. Just, I wonder, Brad, you kicked 17 goals in his last game. You pumped up for your next week, wouldn't you? And he's been waiting for you 3 or 4 weeks for that to happen. So hopefully he keeps that good form going. He's close to 20 goals in 2 weeks of footy. You wouldn't be too worried about that too much, would you?
No. Short takes it to the outer side, and it ends up in the hands of Fitzgibbon. On the half-back flank, hands over the top now to Waterbury. Waterbury on the right leg, turns that over, but they couldn't take the mark, East Point, but mopped up well, really well, and then goes forward, and there he is again. He's up high. Oh no, that's not Otavi. In fact, that's McDougall. McDougall will go towards the big fella, and this time it's Whittaker.
Yeah, well played by Brad Whittaker there. Played in front of his opponent, the ball dropped short, and Paddy Britt, I'm not quite sure he's been moved off Big Joel yet, but another good kick. Nearly the identical spot as the last kick from Joel Otavi.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. He's going to need chop outs, but right now Short's gone to Atavi as Whittaker comes in, goes close to the man on the mark. It's coming back, not enough. That's the first behind for the day. 13-point leaders at the 15-minute mark of the first quarter is East Point. Go short, too short. Inside defensive 50, takes a bounce after 3 steps. Eugene Polo. He's under the pump now. Is Aberdeen. And the umpire says, yep, holding the ball.
You always give it to the coach, but I'm not quite sure when the coach is not the best position to get the footy. But yeah, we should have gone long with that kick, the first kick out of defence there, just to try and get it away from the East Point forward line, especially when the play's going towards the East Point side.
And Rotino's a beautiful flat kick, and Whittaker again on the lead has taken the chest mark again. He'll kick from just outside 50. We'll see if he goes close to the man on the mark again.
Very workmanlike, Brad Whittaker, just keeps moving all day, giving his team the best options, and if you keep doing that as like centre forward, you usually get a few of them throughout the day.
Does go close to the man on the mark. He set that right again. Leaping was McLean, but just keeping his feet on the ground and reading it better than all of them was Matty Johnson. He's taken the mark right on the boundary line, right forward pocket. Check side or left foot, you think here, Phil?
He's a check sider usually, I think.
Yeah, he's holding it for that, and he's just spot on, and he has missed. So another behind. That's what will get you in the chair, Phil.
He's an old school player, Matty, so he's not one of those ones that will go around and try and snap that. He's probably done 1,000 of those kicks during his junior footy career and had the confidence to do it, but unfortunately just missed that one. But he's been a dangerous player thus far, and he can go forward and kick goals, and he's dangerous when they rest him forward.
Waterbury, high kick out to the wing, but reading that really well for the East Point side was cute. Takes the mark, goes short. Now they're up around half forward. Atchison is there for the Redan side. He's tackled, quick hands out. She's red hot. Umpire says, you dropped that, I thought he handballed it. And it'll be Matty Johnson again. He's just racking them up. He'll kick from outside 50, goes inside over the back of Dodd. Picked up by Jenkins, gets on the left foot towards the wing, looking for and finding Grant. Hurry right foot snap up the line. There's Chester. Has McLean on the inside if he wants him. He's inside 50, just goals in front of him. Handballs over the top to the big fella, Stevenson, and goal.
Fantastic play by Isaac Grant. We said it was a rushed kick, but knowing Isaac, he has got fantastic vision. He saw the player on his outside there, just a quick kick out there, he had space to run, and getting the ball quick into the forward line is always an advantage for any team, and certainly McLean's got some wheels on him and just unselfishly handed the ball over the Big O to start Big O days off with a nice goal off the first 10.
2 straight 12 Redan. They trail East Point 3-2-20. We've gone 18 minutes in the first quarter. That's on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Yeah, another one that I like is Grant. I get him confused with Bond, and there's a few of them. Fitzgibbon, they've got those nice hairdos. Tavi's gone into the ruck, wins the free kick, has his kick smothered by Short. Has a teammate and Q on the outside. Handball's back in. In fact, it might have been McQueen. Now it comes out to Lukic. Hurry, right foot kick forward. Ends up in the hands of young Carlo Marks. A kick, gives it off to Matty Johnson. High kick towards goal. Really doesn't have anyone there. Might beat Waterbury over the line. No, he traps it. Kicks high towards the ring, but no one really there. And I don't know what he was trying to do, but he's kicked it straight in the hands of Brown. And Brown is just, again, beautiful pass. They kick it flat inside 50, and guys like Whittaker, Atavi, and now Nesta are on the end of some really good inside 50 footy.
Yeah, really good kick by young Brown, Jacob. Dalesford boy, been at East Ballarat for quite a few years now, and he's a really skillful player. Had a bad injury a couple of years ago, but he's good to go over that, and yeah, just a really low worm burner sort of into their forward line.
Here comes Nesta. Kicks from 48. He's hit the left, and after kicking 3 straight, they've kicked 3 behind. They lead by 9 points, nearly 20 minutes gone in the first quarter. Yeah, it's noticing a real solid link through the middle there of Jack Ganley for East Point. Which should be interesting because
and Jack relies on his speed. A player from the Ararat Football Club has come down to try the Ballarat Football League, and looks like he's had his haircut done for today. Knew it was a televised game, Brad, looks like. But yeah, he's one that relies on his speed and pace throughout the day.
Short, goes short to McLean. Another handball over the top. He's preferring the handball and kick. Now, Giampolo gets onto the right foot inside, finds Chester. And Chester takes the mark. He's about 35 out. Normally a beautiful kick for goal is Dean Chester.
Yeah, certainly is. Dino knows where the goals are. He's a very illustrious VFL career with North Ballarat Roosters, premiership player, and loves a goal. But what I've noticed there is the Redound Football Club really being smart in getting that extra player into that sort of clearance area, just getting the one-up player and resulting in a kick on goal.
He's missed that to the right, rushed in forward behind you. First game back in the seniors today, Dean Chester. We called Redound a couple of weeks ago out at City Oval. He kicked the first goal in the reserves and then kicked the winning goal, the last kick of the game that got him over the line on a very wet afternoon as Ray Tumaonis kicks that out on the full.
Just the wind got that the last minute there, and it was a good thought of a kick, but just overcooked a bit, and
in fact he said it's come off the hands.
Yeah. We must be in the wrong angle here, Brad.
I thought that was well over it anyway.
I thought so. In the actual grandstand, mark that football. Anyway, moving on.
Jolly hands out towards Matt Johnson. He can't cleanly go away with it. We'll bounce down right on the 50-metre line as Atchison gives the ball back to the umpire. Jolly tries to flick it out behind, but I think he's not doing too bad a job. He's green in the ruck against a much bigger opponent. Comes out now to Waterbury. He's tackled. Quick hands out towards Short. Taps it in front of him. Giampolo gives it out the back now. They pull it away here Redan through Jenkins. Jenkins goes short. Has Atchison. He'll go on the left foot. Decides to handball. Half smothered. Gets it back. Goes around the big man in Jolly. Then squares the ball up. That's a beautiful kick. Well weighted. And couldn't be in better hands than Lockie George felt.
Exactly right there. Great bit of play by Cooper Atchison. Got plenty of space, and again Redan got that extra player, or that's one-up player. Similar to what they did a minute ago on the far side of the ground. Now Lockie's a great kick of the footy as well, and I think he'll kick this one straight through the centre.
Yeah, I'm with you, but that's what they do. As soon as we give him the wrap, that's what'll happen. And East Point will take it away. Check side. Looking for Darlinburg, comes off his leg, and Bambury was probably the best friend of East Point there. There was a bevy of Redan lines around it.
No, disappointing kick by Lockie George. He didn't kick through the footy, which he usually does, and whether he just allowed the wind to maybe take the footy a bit too much for him, so kicking through the footy.
Green wins that with a big fist forward. Well done. Hands out the back towards Grant. Darlinburg is there. He's tackled. Ball spills free. Crowd. Not that there's much of a crowd, we're not allowed to have one, remember. He's calling for ball. Whittaker ends up with the ball in the middle. Love to know the amount of marks he's taken in the first quarter. Goes high towards the 50-metre arc. McQueen's there. Well done by Jess. Now they're away through Jenkins with an under the car park kick to Atchison. Has his kick smothered. And that's Ganley. In fact, it's Whittaker again. He just taps it over. He's had a great start to the game, Brad Whittaker.
Yeah, 3 hit-up marks thus far for Brad, and just that work when Mock, as I said before, he just keeps working for the team all the time. Not the most flashiest player, but does everything right every single day.
Jolly holds the front spot, so he'll win that. Very hard to get around. Bond, toe pokes that off the ground. Oh, beautiful hands out over the top there from Geordie Taylor. Ends up in the hands of Nesta. Flicks it forward. But it's Atchison, who I've liked his first quarter for Redan as well. Flicks it over towards his teammate. He cannot take it. Rodimer Owens is tackled by Jenkins. Jolly overruns it. Ends up in the hands of Billy Jones. I was never going to say Billy Joel. That's our error, Phil. Aberdeen gets a kick. Umpire says free kick though. It'll go the way of Daniel Bond.
Been really contested ball the last minute and a half. The team's just trying to mesh with the 25-minute mark of the quarter.
Goes forward, Lukic punches, it comes forward to Giampaolo, he's tackled by Matty Johnson. There's not much that Matty Johnson can't do. He gets inside, outside, tackles, marks. He's a ripper.
He's a ripper, and I think we're going to call his name a lot today, and he started off very, very well.
We've gone 25 minutes in the first quarter, 9-point lead to East Point. Ball comes out the back to Lovey. Gets away from his opponent. There he is again. Matty Johnson just sells some candy, buys himself some space, gets the high ball towards the big fella in Atavi in front of Brett, and it might be time to make that change. As he's got the ball right on the boundary, he'll kick from about 40 from an angle. He's already got 2, but he is a lovely kick of the ball.
Yeah, probably the right side of the ground to kick with this wind. Hopefully just get it up there in the wind with the rest for him.
And he's done that. He's set it up. Have a look at that. Oh, he's hit the post. The near post. So after kicking 3 straight, they're now 3-4. They lead by 10 points going into time on.
Really important kick out by the Round Footy Club. You've got to try and keep possession of the football. With having a couple of minutes to go at the quarter.
Yeah, certainly don't want jump time goals now. They've been good Redan in the first quarter. They are kicking with the wind. Jolly drops that mark. Christian Polar takes it over back towards Abilene. He's tackled by Nesta. Spills through to Jordan Taylor. The old Joe Sullivan wins a free kick over the shoulder. Advantage paid. Rodimer Onus about 70 around from goal. Goes around on the arc, sits a tall one-on-one, and here he is again. And Atavi's going to have another shot for goal.
2 fantastic kicks there. The first kick was from young Joe Dodd. Kicked it right on the boundary line, using the wind for his advantage, and then Mika Jonas was a really good kick to the right-hand side. The big fella to kick his goal, and I think his last shot on goal was a good one, but hit the post. But I think you'll see this one learn from his mistake.
Yeah, he's got 2 in this first quarter. Comes in for his 3rd. Probably could have had nearly 5. That's a beautiful kick. That is a beautiful kick. He's got his 3rd now in the shadows of quarter time here at the Eastern Oval. And they are, we just said they don't want one in junk time, Redan, Phil, and they've got one.
Yeah, could have had a bit more of a full back there, had a bit more time, could have run it away another 5-10 metres, and kicked it towards a bit further on the wing to get the ball away from the attacking area of the East Point Football Club. It's an easy game, Brad, keep it away from the scoring end and or the attacking end, and he won't get a goal scored against him in the last jump time.
4-4, 28 East Point lead Redan, 2 straight 12, gone 28 minutes now into the first quarter thanks to Ballarat Toyota. Green goes the high ball towards Stevenson, comes to the front, McLean's a chance, but gang tackle over the line, rush behind.
If I was a Redan Footy Club, I'd put probably quickest forward line small, right at the fleet of big line Stevenson, because what he's good at is just giving his forwards the best opportunity on the ground. He's got no chance to mark it. And he might get a few goals from doing that again today.
Comes out to Aberdeen, wins the crumb from a Brandon Green punch over Jolly, but it'll be Dellenberg that'll take it out and save the day for East Point. Out of side back pocket, short just outside the arc, looking for Johnson. Waterbury wins it, gives it back to Fitzgibbon for Redan. High left foot kick towards goal, but just mopping up again Dellenberg. Now they'll go out towards the wing with a long high torpedo punt, carried over the back, and leading in the race for the ball there is Carlisle Marks, the young thirds player. He can't win it. Brick gets it for Redan. Hurried handball on the outside to Flynn Atchison, brother of Cooper. They tell me he plays a very different style of game for him.
Yeah, sure he does. Had both boys through the Rebels program, and yeah, Flynn's that uncanny forward line player that's got good endurance, but can also go down back, got a bit of X factor about himself.
Matty Johnson again inside 50, goes over the back of the pack. Britt's in front of Atavi on this occasion, goes to ground, he's tackled, And they're asking for a free kick. Is McQueen. Umpire says no, I'll bounce that down.
Really important that Redan Footy Club try and hold the footy in here because they're really dangerous here. You're 25 metres out in front of goal.
Short wins it with the backhander, comes out to Bond, hurried handball out. It's carried long in the tackle, the umpire said. And Bond will take the free kick.
Good call from the other secondary umpire about 25 metres away there, saw that free kick and had enough confidence to call it in front of his closer umpire.
Bond goes up the wing. He looks for the boy McLean. Comes off his hands, goes out of bounds. He was actually looking for Lockie George, but it carried over him and Jacob Brown. McLean sees it out over, so we have another boundary throw in centre wing position. Out of side of the ground, it's Green and the big man Jolly, double-handed tap, beautiful to Johnson. Might have tried to win a free kick there, and then asked why didn't I get it.
I haven't seen Matty Johnson smile from here, Brad. I reckon Big Jolly just putting it down his mouth every single time, like a baby bird. So he's just a fantastic player, getting in with plenty of the footy.
He did it again, and then he handballed it off, ball goes out over the line in front of McDougall. Yeah, it's the sort of player you just be getting the front every time. He'll be telling you where to go, no doubt.
I think it's a fantastic pick-up by the East Point Football Club to get a player like a Diane Jolly. That's always something to offer, experience, and really teach them to play with the football club as well.
Hutchison gives it out towards Short, who's tackled very well there by Geordie Taylor. 31 and a half minutes into this first quarter. There have been 6 goals kicked, 4-4 East Point, 2-2 Redan. Jolly again. Taps down in front, comes out to Rodimer Onus, just bounces around, umpire says no. It's a holding free kick to Redan. Going short. Jenkins has it. Taken outside defensive wing. Up towards the half forward now. Gets over the back. Is George. He's tackled very well. And we'll have a bounce down.
Yeah, great pressure. I think it would have been Geordie Johnson that time with the tackle on Lockie George, because the ball could have gone a bit further there and Lockie could have had a bit more of a run onto the footy and had a shot on goal.
Green wins that one. It goes straight to his East Point opponent. He's wrapped up by Bond with another bounce. That was Dodd. Oh, beautiful tap again from Jolly. This is just a masterclass of ruck work we're seeing from the big dual premiership player with Sydney and Collingwood, isn't it?
Yeah, as I said before, you've got a quality player like that that can deliver the ball in the ruck to your midfielders. It gives your team a really good advantage, and that's what we're seeing at the moment.
Canny was on the end of that last one. Who's going to be on the end of this one? Actually, it's Redan that are starting probably to think, I might just go where his hands and eyes are going. Free kick. Go to East Point, and it's Canny. Goes the high kick up towards half forward, goes over the head of McDougall, bad bounce for him and Jenkins, and the ball goes out over the boundary line. 33 minutes gone, first quarter, 14-point lead to the Kangaroos.
Green's got to get in front of Big Jolly here at the moment. The boundary umpire is throwing it fairly low, and the ball's holding up a little bit, so the Big Green gets in front. He might have more opportunity for his team opportunities.
It was a 20-metre punch to McDougall from Jolly. Now they're up towards the goal mouth. This spells danger, but geez, that was well done by Brett. He was able to get it to the front and rush the behind. Did very well there. And they come. It'll be Waterbury. Flat, long kick inside 50, but no one in particular ends up in Carlisle Marks' hand, who goes forward looking for a Tavi. Comes forward, well done. Quick kick forward by the big fella in green into the middle. But again, I liked his game in the first quarter, Jacob Brown. Now it's toe poke, Lockie McLean inside 50. Stevenson won't win that race, but I tell you what, he's made a nuisance of himself. And the ball comes out to Dallenberg, hands off. Lukic, right foot kick up the wing. Umpire calls him to play on. high kick towards Jolly, gets over the back, Rodimer Onus is there, wins it well with strength, great agility, right leg, what a beautiful kick that is, but well done again from Britt, just able to get the ball to Granville.
Yeah, as I said before, very much workmanlike Paddy Britt, just to keep doing the team things, but just that competitive beast about him, hates getting beaten. And you'll see that even though he's got 4 or 5 kicked against him throughout the day or something like that, he'll keep fighting for the team.
And he's giving away a lot of height and the ball's coming in brilliantly, so he's been good. Ball bounces high in the air, no one really wants it. In the end it's Nesta, he's wrapped up. And by the coach. And it's quarter time here at Eastern Oval, East Point, 4-5-29. They lead Redan 2-2-14. We'll take a quick break, and when we come back from the break, we'll go through all the goal kickers, better players, and we'll have some scores from around the grounds throughout Ballarat. Great stuff, yeah.
You can't plan, you can plan. You've got to plan different sort of strategies of what may happen. You do a lot of work, this may happen, that may happen, and if something did happen where you can go to plan B or plan C. But no doubt the AFL officials have been under the pump.
Certainly don't envy their job as we are underway here in the second quarter. Lockie George and looks like Jacob Brown wrestling at ground level. Really liked, and I know that you mentioned him earlier in the call, Jacob Brown. I like the looks of him. It's the first time I've seen him this year.
Yeah, no, he's certainly a player that gives his all each week. He's probably struggling a bit with fitness on it. I saw him, he's sort of running out that last quarter a bit haggardly, but playing in the half-back flank on George and May is a damaging player.
Yeah, as I said, it's the first time I've seen him. Being a bald man, I love the head of hair that he carries. It's a nice mullet.
Yeah, there's plenty of mullets out there today, isn't there? I think the isolation has been kind, and your hairdressers haven't been open for the last 2 weeks.
As Matty Johnson, it's flipped out now. Matthews is in there, as is Fitzgibbon. Dodd, and we'll get another stoppage by the looks of that.
I like what Redan have done currently now. As we've said, Matty Johnson and Big Jolly have been turning out quite well. They've put Lockie George into that sort of, in that area to be a bit more of that contested beast, and you won't give Matty Johnson the clear footing that he has had that first quarter.
Great call as George thumps that to Fitzgibbon. He gets a kick up forward looking for Christian Pollard. The ball goes out of bounds in the 40. And Lukic will be the recipient of that free kick. First year player for the East Point side. Lukic, high kick towards 50. Comes off the hands of McDougall, or in fact Whitaker, and that goes out. Now, just have a look at this again. I've just loved the artistry of Jolly and the Ruck, and we'll see what happens here, but by the same token, Green's been pretty good. Look at that. That is just incredible. And he's found Johnson again, Jolly, with a beautiful tap, but the kick wasn't great. And Redan will mop out. And they'll come out towards Atchison, and we spoke about, has had a great first quarter. Beautiful kick to Harvey. Has a player on the outside in order. He goes back to Atchison, who mops up well. Smothered by Lukic. Quick flick over the back, finds Chris Giampolo from Atchison. High kick inside. Grant ends up on the end of it from a beautiful handball from Chester. He has Fitzgibbon on the outside, gives it to him. He has the big fella in Stevenson, has to give it back. Fitzgibbon, high kick towards goal. Misses to the near side.
Unlucky to go down there. That was great play by young Isaac Green again, showing his vision, seeing a clear player. Unfortunately, the kick didn't come off, but good opportunity for Redan to really consolidate maybe a goal here in this in the first 5 minutes.
Comes back into play now. They'll go up the middle of the ground. Further out now towards the wing, goes over the back, and it looks like Giampolo on the outside. The coach is able to see that far away. In fact, short, goes high inside 50. It's a 3-on-1, but it ends up in the hands of the young fella in Finn Lappin, Harry kick, but they'll get out of this. Dallenberg inside defensive 50 has the ball. Hasn't got a lot to go to up the line, so he squares a beautiful kick. Looks like he might have changed the jumper. Jordan Johnson going to the sleeveless now. Picked up by Jarrett Giampolo. Gives it off to George. George now lowers some eyes. He was looking for Lapham, but chopped off East Point. Then they've turned it over. No, they haven't. McQueen. He's wrapped up by the coach. Able to get the handball away. Great tackle from George. And that was on Carlisle Marks.
It's one thing Lockie does quite well is his competitive work, and as you can see, there's a scruffle there, which has in my head. He just tries to rev his team up a little bit more. His team's got a free kick here, so I think it's Lockie George's free kick at that stage actually.
He ended up giving it to Short. Oh, good mark, lovely. Another one that I've been impressed with again today. Beautiful kick into the middle of the ground that really can hurt them as Ganley takes that, goes inside, and that just opens up the ground, doesn't it, Phil?
Certainly a great kick by Jack Ganley there. Just saw the big target of Joel, let him down 45-degree angle, just well-weighted kick, and the big fella's got another shot on goal, around 50 metres out. And 45-degree angle, so the way he's been kicking today in terms of distance-wise, he should get that. Just hope he reads the accuracy a bit better.
He'll kick from right on 50 for his fourth of the day, 5 minutes into the second quarter. Oh, he's missed that right a long way. He'll be lucky to score there. In fact, he won't. Out of bounce on the full. He's got three, but I reckon he might have about 3, 4 or 5.
He's had some very gettable goals, and just inaccuracy has cost him.
Now, this is the hard ask here. Hasn't got a lot to go to, and there he is. The big fella, Atavi, sits himself in the right spot, and he had the bigger man in Jolly behind him. High kick towards Whittaker, punched from behind, was short, comes out. Good tackle, or was it? Yes, it was. Thought he might have ridden Johnson into the ground, but he held him up, did Aberdeen. Goes short to the outside.
You going, belly?
Now, Redan will take it outside, defensive 50. The high kick carries over. The target was Finn Lappin.
Good spoil by, I think it was James Lucas then. Unlucky that free kick down that forward line there. I thought there may be an in the back sort of decision there, but the umpire let it go.
Quick hands out from Aberdeen. Looking for Harvey, finds him. Able to get his arms free and get the ball out towards Bond to Chris Giampolo. Flicks it up, overlooking for Matthews. Umpire blows his whistle and says Bond might have been held long in the tackle, was he? Giampolo. No, it'll come back to Bond. So Bond will take the free kick out of wing. He'll go short, looking for McLean. Now this next kick usually is great. He arcs left. Yeah, arcs around onto that left foot. Has all the time in the world to do with it that he wants. Sits it probably a little bit high for Harvey. Dallenberg is there. Wins out in front of Chester. Handball. Harvey's going to end up back with this. He's tackled. Did he get his foot to it? Umpire says no. And the free kick will go to East Point. Right back pocket for them.
Really good defensive pressure by the East Point Football Club there. That Harvey had a shot on goal then, but just that fingernail sort of pressure sort of led that free kick for holding the ball.
And it's Van Meel, goes up towards the defensive arc, but it's going to come back pretty quickly as the mark has been taken by Waterbury.
Had a very good year, Kenan Waterbury. Has been one of the prime movers around footy club this year.
Goes short, but he's turned that over. Another great kick, probably being the backman, was a bit worried about the goals. They sort of get a little bit tentative, and there's 4 posts in front of him. Beautiful kick and a great mark. And that's Atavi again with a lovely kick to Whittaker. Gets it onto the right leg, but has missed to the near side.
It was a good kick by Joel Avardi there, and I'm not quite sure if he actually tried to hit Brad Whittaker or the further on player, but gave Whittaker a shot on goal.
So 15-point lead is East Point, 8 minutes into the second quarter.
And East Point shots have been quite easy on goal too, Brad, so they should be probably a bit further ahead at the moment.
Yeah, I think Redan have been very good, especially when I seen that Cooper Craig Peters was playing for Footscray this weekend and he wouldn't play. I thought, gee, they're going to lose a lot around the middle, but they've been good. It's only early, but time will tell as they come back in towards Jenkins, trying to get the change of area now. As the coach in the middle, as we have said, that's where you want to go normally. Elects to go towards McLean on the outer side, but it'll go out of bounds on the full a bit there.
Really good play by East Point there. They just held up and didn't give Redan any options on the outside or a chance to switch the footy at all. They just manned up one-on-one and gave no exit for the football club to get out.
Jolly gave it off to Jones who kicked it forward, then mopped up front of that. It's gone out of bounds with a boundary throwing, left half forward for the East Point side. There's Green and Jolly. Jolly over the back was looking for Ganley. Had it smothered. Johnson ends up with it. He fumbles. Comes out to Nesta. Gets away from McLean. McLean hangs on, but he's able to shrug it in the end. Has his kick smothered eventually. And comes into the middle of the ground now. And that's Ganley. Ganley on the right leg. Goes forward. Beautiful mark. Under a lot of pressure was Geordie Johnson. Quickly plays on. Goes to centre half forward. Have a look at the kick. Straight to Whittaker in the goal square and just walks in to an open goal. He's first for the day, Brad Whittaker.
Yeah, he's been a dangerous player, Brad. Just got through the back there, and a great kick by Geordie Johnson. We talked about Geordie Johnson and his ability to have a high mark and good hands, but the one thing I like about Geordie Johnson is his vision. He's got that uncanny knack that isn't necessarily a free player, and move it from hand to foot fairly quickly, and that's what happened there and the result of the goal.
Yes, and a thumping kick too. So that takes them on to 5, 6:36, 2-3-15 Redan. We've gone now 10.5 minutes into the second quarter. Comes forward, we'll have another stoppage forward of the centre for Redan. And umpires come in, not the officiating umpire. He's seen something, and it might have been Jolly that might have pushed Harvey high. Harvey wins the free kick, goes inside 50. Christian Polo's at the front of that pack. Van Meals there, sliding in. Ball comes out the back towards. Looks like it might be in the hands of Dallenberg now. Goes towards the wing, but the coach for Redan, Jarrett Van Polo, will take the mark in front of Carlisle Marks. Goes short. Finds Bell. Hasn't had a lot of it. He's been quiet, Bell. He's on the outer side, outer half forward flank. He'll go short again to McLean. He'll just travel the required distance.
East Point have pushed nearly all their players back in back 50 at the moment. There's only 3 players forward of the 50 at the moment.
And what McLean does is smart. As you said, they were coming back and he didn't have much to go to. He knew if he put it towards the goal square, it was just going to be defended easily. So he got round 2 or 3 of them, got to 50. And as we've said many a time on the live stream, that left foot of his is just superb for it.
Yeah, he's got a good weapon there in his left foot, and the ability to kick long on the left foot is good for the team. And you know, how they played that, because East Point pushed all their players back there and just relied to that sort of quarterback sort of type player with a great kick and see end result in goal.
5-6-36 East Point, 3-3-21. Redan, we've gone 12.5 minutes into the second quarter. Quick kick inside for Redan towards Grant Chester with a check side. Wow.
The one thing that Dean Chester's very good, ground balls, and knows where the goals are, and he has done that for many times for the Redan Footy Club over his career. A really good contest by Isaac Brown as well to get the ball to the ground and give Dean an opportunity.
2 goals within a minute has got him within 9 points. 5-6-36 East Point, 4-3-27 Redan. 13 minutes gone, second quarter on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. They just won't go away, Phil.
That annoying blow fly, isn't it? And that's the Redan Football Club. They're just a really competitive group of players.
Matty Johnson, quieter second quarter for him thus far. Rachel Onus drops the handball, but is good enough. But a real tenacious tackle from Harvey. Ends up advantage. Chester again has a chance to put his second on the board. And misses to the right.
Great play by Alex over that pressure. He's had a really good year in Darwin actually. Played up at Darwin during the summer period and came back. He's got great leg speed, and you see that there with the contest to pull the player down and create a bit of a loose ball where Dean just missed a gettable shot.
Played the premiership with Pint, I'm led to believe. Harvey.
A few guys base players went up to Darwin and played in the leagues up there this year.
Look at Kim normally gets up there as well. I think he might have won best and fairest the year before. His East Point go inside. Was that a throw from McQueen? Umpire says no. Rodimer Onus tackled again. Geordie Johnson tackled. It's really lifted the effort now and tenacity of the Redan side as McDougall is gang tackled by Aberdeen and the coach Giampaolo, and it's a really good sign of the Redan Lions at the moment.
Yeah, the pressure's built up the last 5 minutes after those 2 goals, but certainly the East Point Football Club, they are a competitive bunch as well, so they won't give in easy and let their lead go.
Geordie Johnson, hurry kick forward to that man Atavi. How many balls does he win like that? And just when you thought Redan were really starting to get hold of it, Atavi pops up for his 4th.
And you've got a player at 196, 197, 77 metres that can take the ball at its highest point for the mark, but also be dangerous down the ground like Joe. You've got a very good player, and he's dominated today at both levels, ground balls and also up in the air.
Just incredible, isn't it? They were just so good at winning that ground ball. It's 6-6-42 East Point, 4-4-28 Redan. Gone 15 minutes, second quarter on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Short, hurried kick forward inside, 50 for the Lions. Whoa. George just coming out and hitting Lukic right down the middle. Grant there wins the ball in front of Dallenberg, but goes out over the line.
Good contest there. Be a few sore bodies after a few weeks off, no doubt. It was a good contest by both players. Just eyes on the footy.
It's a question I'll ask you to have a think about. Will these guys slow down as the day goes on, filled with 21 days off, and a break earlier in the year as McDougall gets a hurried kick inside the middle of the ground, but it's marked by Jess for the Lions. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. It's stop and start season, isn't it?
Yeah, it's difficult for a player that you haven't got any structured team training for the last 3 or 4 weeks, and to come in and say the game's going to be played this weekend without any training set played Thursday night is going to be difficult. But the professional football nowadays, the players do a lot of things at home to keep themselves fit.
Comes up towards the wing. Waterbury pokes that towards the boundary line. Geordie Johnson takes it out, right half forward flank for the East Point side.
There's gym fit, there's footy fit though too, isn't there, Brad? So, the actual amount of touches they've had over the last 3 weeks is probably showing a little bit in the skill areas. But I'm certainly in the second half, once they get a few more touches, a bit more confidence in their skills up there.
Boundary throwing, it'll be Madu doing the ruck work with Short. Comes out to Jenkins, hurried left foot high towards the boundary, goes out. Under pressure, Matty Johnson will take the free kick. Kangaroos. Comes inside, he's always going to go around Matthews. Now, high kick towards the goal square, jumping forward again. This time Whittaker, and he's got his second.
Very quick there, Brad. He was in the marking contest, the ball hit the ground, and like a hungry lion, just jumped on the footy straight away and just over the shoulder for a great goal.
It's very difficult, isn't it, to stop not only Atavi, then Whittaker will bob up. McDougall goes for a ruck run, and if you're going to use the other big fella in Jolly Ford, it's a hard ask for Redan right now.
They'll be very, very nervous backline when you see those boys line up against you in the way they're playing.
20-point leaders now. East Point 7-6 to 4-4. High kick inside. 50 again comes to the front. great tackle. Flicked out the back again. Jenkins, volleyball style. I think that's going to come out, or is it? No, there's too many around that right now. They've fought, and Redan, and now East Point just needed a couple of minutes to get a couple more to take the ascendancy back. It's toe poked from that stoppage towards the goal square, nervously rushed through by Atchison.
Just giving a bit of a jolly breakdown in the ruck down forward with Vardy going in the ruck, so he's not only kicking goals, but he's instructing the midfielders as well through his ruck work.
What a luxury they have. East Point at one stage earlier in the year was struggling to find a ruckman. Now they have Atavi and Darren Jolly, and it just changes the whole outlook as Nesta puts them in attack again. High kick comes over the back. Jess again, just nervously trying to get it out of that area. Geordie Johnson somehow gets his toe to the ball. Comes back inboard. McQueen dives forward. Umpire says hasn't travelled the required distance. We'll have a ball up.
I think what you said before, Brad, that finding a ruckman, they're very hard to find, and when we do East Point Football Club, they've probably just worked out now we have got no tools to take that pressure off a smaller type of ruckman. Darren Jolly in, that'll release Avardi, release Brad Whittaker, and we're seeing the results.
Very good work from the East Point side, that's for sure. Being able to secure him. Jacob Brown, his tackle. It's the handle away, but the umpire says Flynn Atchison was good enough. So the bench, inside defensive 50. Goes short back to Jenkins. Up the line to McLean. Geez, that was a well-weighted kick. Just got over the head of Kenny. McLean now really has nowhere to go but up the line, but there's no one there to Darren Jolly. So where does he go, Phil?
He's got nowhere to go and try and play. Just well played by the East Point Football Club as they covered all bases again, and the only option the boy had there was to try and get around him and gain some extra metres, and couldn't get around him at all. It was a great tackle by Liam Kenny.
Kenny, high kick inside. Thought short, might have nudged Atavi under it. Bounce down 20 metres out from the East Point goal. 21 minutes gone in the second quarter. They enjoy a 21-point lead to the Kangaroos. Short wins that, but it goes straight in the hands of Atavi. In fact, McDougall goes for Carlisle Peters. McDougall wins it back. Hurry kick forward again under pressure. Flicked out. Just a bevy of players all around this. It's Flynn Atchison at the bottom.
You talk about the marks and the goals, but that tackle by Liam Kenny there to actually stop the flow of play and get the ball now into their forward attacking areas. That's what's one thing that I've noticed with the East Point Footy Club. They're very good at just not only the highlight part of the game, but the hard part of the game as well, and that's the team playing the tackling.
That might have been rushed by Waterbury over the line. He's going nowhere else but the boundary line. Umpire says throw it in. McQueen just overruns it. Jess is there, flicks it out. Matthews, tackled by Kenny again. We'll have another stoppage, about 30 metres out, directly in front of the East Point goal.
Again, there's 3 or 4 East Point boys getting off the ground there, getting tackling, which just shows their team atmosphere and the team first.
Atavi, another snap high forward towards Whittaker. Britt is able to spoil him and rush behind. Jenkins, short to Christian Polo. Hands back to Jenkins. He'll kick to the outer wing. Up the line, but they just work and set up well behind the ball. Oh! Atavi's taken the mark of the day. He's got 4, and what a wonderful ride that was. And he'll kick from 30 out, nearly directly in front.
Just floated, didn't he? He just took it off and just floated in the air, and sat there for half a second and came away with a great mark. And yeah, I watched the thing on Tony Modra this morning. He's very Modra-like, that one there. So a really attacking type of player.
Wasn't he a ripper to watch? Consistently jumped on heads to Tony Modra. The Crows and Fremantle as Atavi comes in for his 5th before half time. He's pushed that to the right again. Could have had nearly 10 to half time.
Yeah, I reckon he would have had 8, I'd say, gettable shots on goal. He did 5 of those, so not a bad day out. He'd be happy with that payout.
In fact, it's Jenkins will bring the ball back into play up the line, punch from behind by Jolly, goes forward to inside 50, but it's Flynn Atchison. It'll win that for the Lions. Goes short out towards Britt. Britt now has handball on the outside of Jenkins. He'll just try to get this out of jail here and towards Matthew Tarvey. Punches forward, comes out the back to Lukic. Handball to Dallenberg, has Canning. He gives it to him. Then inside 50, it's just repeat 50 entry at the moment. And Atavi doing what he wants. Handballs to the outside to Brown. Has Carlisle marks. Doesn't go to him. Now they'll win it out through Britt to the outer side. Just carried over the head of young Lappin. But he fights like hell to win it back and does well. Chester thumps it forward. Atchison. Handball on the inside to Lappin. Doesn't make the mark. Just a little toe poke to the outside. Fitzgibbon has it. Hasn't really got anyone to go to. Has to dance around and lower eyes, but Lukic is there to take that mark in front of Matthews.
First time the ball's been over that centre line for a period of play. The East Point Football Club have just been setting up too well across the half-back line, and the Redans were taking their time, which is not... let's be grab there.
Yeah, short kicks to Lappin, takes a good mark just outside 50 on the boundary line. Yeah, it was just repeat inside 50s, wasn't it, from East Point for a good few minutes as they go up towards the big man in Stevenson. And Van Meel spoils him, goes out over the boundary line.
This is the right contest I want to see. Big Oran, Stevenson against Big Jolly, so you see 2 experienced warriors go at it.
Probably won by Stevenson. Comes out to Giampaolo. Beautiful hands to George. Normally would eat that, but he's missed to the right and missed everything out on the full.
A few spectators on the outside of the fence I see too, Brad, walking their dogs, of course. During these no spectators today.
Yeah, and they're socially distancing too, aren't they? I like that.
And probably a few iPads in their arms, just watching they're watching the live feed.
Yeah. The live stream is Matty Johnson's tackled well. And free kick will go to Harvey, right on 50. Goes short, looking for and finding Grant, who was met front on by Dallenberg, but was good enough to take the mark. And just before half time, this would be very, very welcoming, Phil.
I don't want to moz the boy, but Isaac's a fantastic year of the footy. That Grant pedigree coming through. He just knows where the goals are, and he's a very cool-headed young man. He should be able to slot it right. I've just got the confidence in this boy with his kicking.
We'll get him within 3 goals to half-time at the 27-minute mark, which would be great. And is it coming back enough? Hits the post on the near side. So 22 points in arrears, the Redan Lions. 27 minutes gone, second quarter on the Ballarat Toyota live stream match of the day. Up towards Whittaker here. Waterbury spoils him, comes forward towards Geordie Johnson, but Harvey to McDougall ends up in the hands of Geordie Johnson. Here's a one-on-one that you don't want if you're a Lions supporter. He has McQueen streaming over the back to Zatavi. He gives it to him. Round the corner as easy as you like. And McQueen gets his second for the day.
We just saw there just the advantage of having Joel Avati against a Pat Britt. Undersized Pat Britt, but he tries his heart out and unselfishly Joel just passed on to Jake McQueen. I think Jake's kicked 2 or 3 on this course to this game, and all similar at the feet of big Joel Avati.
1 in each quarter for Jake McQueen, the major goal kicker. Joel Atavi with 4. 8-9, 57 East Point. Redan 4-5, 29, 28 minutes gone. Second quarter on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Won by Green. Comes out to Atchison. Ducks under that handball out to the outside to Matthews. Hurried kick towards Stevenson, who brings it to ground. But mopped up by Q to Lukic. It's going to come out to Bond. He can't win it. Harvey again. Flicked out to the outside. Brown, handball towards Lovey. Bounces to Jones. Jones hurried handball out towards the big man in Jolly. Trips over the big fella. Ooh, met solidly is Matthews by Dellenberg. And able to win the ball as well. And give it to Johnson. He lowers his eyes and gives it to Maronis. Up the wing towards Whittaker dropped what he should have taken. Jenkins is there, mops up as his kicks later, comes back to him on the left foot to Matthews, quickly to Atchison on his left foot, goes towards Bond, dives in, can't take him up. Hugh wraps him up, comes out to Matty Johnson. Again a short kick to Lovey, marks in front of Christian Polo, goes inside the middle. What a beautiful kick, and they're away through. Nesta with a high kick towards centre half forward, being held. Jess was holding his opponent there, and they'll take it away to centre half forward to McDougall. McDougall trying to get that over the back, but mopping up was short. His target was Avardi. Whittaker's there, short fumbles again. It's taken out over the boundary line. There was a boundary throwing.
Yeah, McDougall's probably a bit Vardy conscious there. He's gone basically a 90-degree angle towards the boundary line where he should have gone long, where he's got a Brad Whittaker, that sort of type, even McQueen down forward there.
Jolly double taps that out the back. Handball from McDougall, looking for Johnson, but didn't get there. McDougall goes in again, Aberdeen wins it. Hurried handball taken high was Cooper Atchison as he kicked it. Played downfield, so it must have been after he kicked it. And all the advantage. McLean was the recipient of the free kick. He goes to 1-3 here. That has to stick it. And it does. Bond has moved forward out of the middle. Well, not a great kick. He's looking for George, but just the wrong side.
The wrong side of the player, and certainly kicks the right side. George and Nick forget that footy, but just a bit of a skill error there, and the ball gets rebounded again by East Point.
Jacob Brown goes to McQueen. McQueen will now go to the outer side. Great kick again. Both sides are very good by foot. And now up towards centre half forward where Whittaker leads. In fact, it'll come out the back to Ganley now. Ganley has Whittaker, goes to him on the left foot. Inside 50, quickly playing on and running towards goal. And missing everything.
Just want to comment on Brad Whittaker's work ethic just there. He saw the ball get switched and looked down the forward line. He's realised that. He's gone for a 20-metre run across the ground there, and he's on his haunches still at the moment. A great effort. He got the handball, then kicked it forward. So as a good centre half forward do, they never stop working, and Brad's done that today.
Yeah, great call, Phil. Very, very Nick Rewalt-like.
Yeah, he's probably one of the best gut runners. I like to call him gut runners in the AFL history of Nick Rewalt. And I'm not saying Brad's Nick Rewalt, but certainly he's got that trait of just that regular and just doing these things all the time.
Christian Polo gets it out towards Bell. Protects the ball drop area, but ends up in the hands of Q. Now they come out for the agency of Jordan Taylor. High kick inside 50, and there he is again. He's got wings, this fella, Matavi.
Yes, get up in the air with the big fellas, and a guy that can mark like that, taking the ball at his highest point against a smaller opponent, results in another shot on goal. So I think Joel will be pretty happy with his first half, but he probably can kick. Probably should have kicked 7 or 8 thus far. And
they must have some good forwards at Williamstown if he's unable to wear the Seagulls Guernsey tomorrow against Coburg. As Atavi comes in, have a look at that. That's his 5th. 3 in the first, 2 in the second. And as you say, Phil, could have had 8 or 9. But right now, it's his marking that is impressing me more than his goal kicking.
I'm sort of looking down the Redan back line, thinking who's the best matchup, and honestly, there's not. I can't see anyone that's going to do a better job than Pat Britt on him at the moment, and Paddy's trying his heart out, but just the entry, the ball entry into the forward line is just too good, and when you're a player who can lead and take a catch like that's pretty hard.
Back in the centre, Jolly wins that, 9-9-63 East Point, 4. Time, East Point 9-9-63 to Redan 4-5-29 here at the Eastern Oval, so they are in front by 34 points, the Kangaroos, and we'll take a quick break at half time. We'll come back with
but certainly the old grandstand's very picturesque and gives you that country feel.
Love it. And we're quarter that is a lot darker than the first half by the looks of it. We might have the lights on here soon as Geordie Johnson tries to get it out. Rotuma Onus back to Geordie Johnson. Hurry kick inside 50. The real kamikaze kick comes out to Ganley. Gets onto the left foot. Inside towards the goal square. Carries over Atavi and short.
Fantastic team kick by Jack Ganley. Then he just knew he had to get into that 15, that hot spot outside that the goal line. Unfortunately, there was no one there, but a really good kick and give another opportunity for East Point through this ruck work.
Ball back into play. Atavi takes the ruck with short. Comes out the back to that man again, Ganley. This time it's on the right leg, and he's got the opener of the second half early. He's first for the day.
The man with the new haircut has done a fantastic job there on his right foot, off the pack of the boundary throw in, got through one player, then got on his left, on his right foot. Real good goal by Jack Ganley.
Yeah, no, a good sign for the Redan side when they get one early. East Point 10-9-69 East Point. Redan 4-5-29 within the first minute of the third quarter on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Comes forward, comes out from Matthews to McLean. McLean with a right foot high kick looking for George. Brown is being blanketed in for most of the day. Comes out to Chris Giampolo on the right leg inside. And Bell takes the mark. Hasn't kicked one yet today. And he won't with that kick either, as it falls short inside the goal square, but kicked off the ground quickly was Grant, was it?
Very dangerous player around the goals, young Isaac Grant. Season opening, and I think he might have kicked it between the East Points players' legs. He just knows where the goals are. Very uncanny player, and we started calling the skunk a bit because we thought he stunk and the players didn't get near him too much, and that's why he found a little bit of space there and just kicked a great goal.
Well, it only took him 30 seconds to reply to that one. 5-5-35 Redan, 10-9-69 East Point. 2.5 minutes gone into the third quarter. Jolly holds out his opponent. Beautiful tap to Rotuma Onus with a right foot leg inside looking for a Tavi. Gets a bad bounce. Britt's there. Handballs towards the boundary. Well, we knew what he was doing, but I have noticed in this competition they do not pay deliberate. The boundary throw in 30 around.
Just noticed Matt Johnson on the bench. Not quite sure if it's just a bit of a rotation or start off there with an injury. Not quite sure. He's on the bench with Josh Carlisle Marks, and young Joe Dodd looks like he's got the tracksuit top on injured.
McDougall, hurried right foot leg. There he is again. Atavi just used the body roll. He was under the pump, but got the right foot snap in, and Atavi's going to go for the customary these days right foot snap around the corner here.
And I think we'll see the half dozen for the start of the quarter. 6 goals, I think, Joel. Just too big and too strong against young Pat Britt.
Too easy, that one. So we've had 3 goals within 3 minutes here at Eastern Oval in the second half. And Joel Atavi, 3 in the first quarter, 2 in the second, and he gets his 6th in the third quarter. And he's going to be very hard to stop for.
Certainly yes. The temperature dropped a bit here at the moment. Certainly not the pressure of the game. It's hotted up the last 3 minutes, and to say 3 goals in 3 minutes is a good standard of footy.
11-9-75 the Kangaroos, the Lions 5-5-35. 4 minutes gone, third quarter on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. You might have a lost football by the looks of this. Oh, no crowd to bring it back. That's
Well,
why.
that's the disadvantage of having no crowd, Brad, is we can't get the footy back over the fence. So you don't see too many times the bounce umpires jump the fence. They probably have a bit more danger maybe if that was the case every week. But we're back into it now.
He's had to go out in the street and retrieve that ball. He's earned his money, the boundary umpire. Is back in the middle, and again, it comes out from Jolly. Kicked off the ground, goes forward towards centre half forward. Again, it's Johnson, that's Geordie, toe pokes it. Zach Jenkins gets his left foot to it to Harvey. Harvey with a right foot, kick up towards the Brandon Fitzgibbon. Dances around his opponent in Taylor, gives it off to Bond. Bond inside 50 or just towards 50, but Lukic in front of Bell, able to take that mark and rebound the ball towards centre half forward. Short does well. Quick hands, comes into the middle. The big fella in green takes a bounce. Didn't look comfortable doing it though. And a mongrel right foot leg has found that boy again. Is it Grant inside 50? Quickly plays on, gets a low kick, gets over the back, just not in time. It's Johnson that double kicks that off the ground. Ends up to Kenny, been good today. Knows his eyes, goes to the big fella. The dual premiership player with Sydney and Jolly gets it back. Right foot kick towards centre half forward. Atavi comes out, has Dallenberg if he wants him. He goes to him, has all the time in the world. Sits that up over Jess's head and straight through the middle.
Great bit of play, but Redan Footy Club had the opportunity to kick a goal there. I think if Isaac went back and had a shot, you wouldn't have seen the ball rebound as quickly as it did, and well done to the East Point Football Club. They created the extra player. Joel Vardy was in a tackle, held for the footy until the best option was available, and then it was a great showing goal from about 45 out.
Definitely rushed, didn't he, Grant?
Yeah, kick 45 metres out, good player like himself, go back, steady the team, kick the goal.
It's blown out now to 46 points to the Kangaroos. They want to be very careful, the Lions. They do go inside 50 again though. Bad bounce, collected low. Taken to the ground by Q. Was Bell. The bounce down, 50 around from the Redan goal. It's getting very dark out here at Eastern Oval as Jolly gets that out with another tap. Atchison's there, he's worried out of it. Comes out to Matty Johnson, tackle, gives it to his brother and Geordie. Geordie Johnson, high kick towards half forward. Just a pack falling, well done by the boy there in Flynn Atchison. He's able to get it off to Waterbury. Looks for Atchison, punched away from him. Ends up in the hands of Whittaker. Whittaker to Dallenberg, who kicked the last goal. Goes inside 50 to a one-on-one. Going to ground was Atavi. Brick does well. Has Jenkins on the outside. Back to Dandelion beats him.
Just seeing a bit of a trend at the moment. I reckon just the East Point Football Club seem to have more speed on the ground, on top of the ground. And I reckon faster players never getting slower. I just reckon the Redan Footy Club players look a bit heavy legs at the moment. I just hope that doesn't continue, because it could be a big blowout if that's the case.
Johnson, that's Matty, who he's dived on that, but good enough to feed it out. Dallenberg been busy early in this third quarter, gets his right foot kick, trying to get a free kick out of there. It was Ganley, not paid. McLean will take the mark, still inside defensive 50 for the Lions. Now this is the kick that's hard because of the way East Point set up, Phil.
Yeah, they've done it again very, very well. So they've forced them to go basically into the centre, into the goal square, and again they've set up well again, and forces Redan to go short and try and find a loose man.
Ends up from McLean to Jess, comes back to McLean, takes a bounce. Oh, he has to go back to retrieve it. It didn't set up for him. The kick wasn't great, and that's rare. He was looking up the line for George.
But Dan did work it out really well there and got it through. It's a bit of a skill error, just cost them, but they worked their kick out, getting out to that really defensive game plan by East Point.
Lovey in the phone box was able to get it to Rodimer Onus, who kicks up towards half forward, but Flynn Atchison is there for the Lions to punch that out over the boundary.
Lights have come on, so hopefully we'll be able to see the game a bit better now.
Yes, it has changed. When we got here today, we see a cloud for miles. It's beautiful. Now it's as black as Harvey wins it to McLean. His tackle comes out the back, had Pryor, but able to get the leg to it. Comes out now to Lappin. He's set upon Matthews. Handballs back to Jenkins. Goes inside the centre looking for Chester, but it carries over him. Now there's a race on. Chester's good enough, ducks in underneath, trying to get the free kick. Q to Bell low. Bell out to Grant. Grant toe pokes it. He's just got to try to get that to sit. His toe poked and gone towards the boundary. Not a bad idea though, Phil. It was a 1-on-3.
Well, again, Isaac Grant sees the game better than most, and he actually thought, well, if a toe poke gave himself a bit more space, he did that, and just the second toe poke didn't work for him, but he was sitting right into the game.
Comes forward now towards Harvey, who has a chance for the check side. What a great goal. He knows where they are, Alex Harvey.
He's got some good leg speed on him, got some good wheels, and he just accelerated away from there and kicked a nice check side goal and come off the ground.
6 separate goal kickers for the Redan side now, with Harvey getting that. That's their second for the quarter, and East Point also have 2 for the quarter, or 3, kicked by Dellenberger, Tarvey and Ganley. So now 12-9-81, they just hanging in there, Redan. 6-5-41, 11 minutes gone, third quarter, as the rain sets in on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Johnson underneath that again, as he's done most of the day. Comes out to Green with a hurry kick inside 50 for the Lions. But it's going to come back for East Point towards the wing to Nesta. Nesta does well, gets it on Aberdeen and Bond. Then goes with a kick inside 50. Coming out and meeting it. Looks like that might have been a small one. I thought it was actually McQueen. So he was doing that in front of Jess, and it's ended up out over the boundary line. We'll have a boundary throwing 50 around from the East Point goal. As Jolly taps it out the back, they've got a good understanding, and they've done it in quick time, these two, to Johnson. High kick looking for a target. Britt was able to get his hand on it and get it out over the boundary line.
Just talking the influence of Jolly, he's gone a little bit quiet. I know he's making still a bit of an impact, but not certainly as much as he had the first half so far with Matty Johnson.
Yeah, 39, a little tired, that's for certain. He'll do battle again with Green. He gets it out the back to Brown. Right foot snap. I would love to know the hand that Jolly's had in goals today with his ruck work. That was just brilliant. And Jacob Brown was able to get on the end of it and get his first for the day.
He's had some impact, Jacob Brown, and just that smart snap from 40 metres out. And great bit of teamwork by the East Point Football Club player in the goal square, sort of shepherded that ball in as well. So he had the opportunity to take that mark, but his team first approach sees that ball go through for a goal.
Turning into a bit of a goal fest out here at Eastern Oval. East Point 13-9-87, lead Redan 6-5-41. And we've gone 13 minutes, third quarter, on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Hard to tackle is Rotuma Onus when he's in that bullocking motion. It ends up to Whittaker at centre half forward. Look at the kick, straight to a Tarvey. He's your man, Brad Whittaker.
Yes, but I just want to talk about Mikaja Onus there. Just his composure through traffic there to get the best option, and then that kick forward to Brad. And as I said, Brad Whittaker's been a very focal point for the East Point Footy Club today, and goes back to have a shot at his third goal for the day.
In fact, it's 7. got 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third. And he's hit the post. So he's quite easily could have had a dozen. 14 minutes into the third quarter. As they'll bring the ball back into play, Jenkins on that outer side that is very, very dark. And it looks like Grant up the ground has taken the mark. Goes short to McLean on the wing. Again short. Beautiful kick though to Bond. As the rain comes in at Eastern Oval. Bond now short to the 50-metre line, just sticking up the one. Duke was Bell dragging it in. He's right on 50 metres, so he's going to sit that to the point of the square. Stevenson flies high, comes to the front to Aberdeen. Aberdeen gets his handball out to Giampolo, off to Grant. Here's a chance, but he's missed to the right.
Good opportunity for Redan there. I think Isaac just probably lost the actual grip of the footy at that particular stage where he was going to have a shot on goal, and he had a sort of second bite at it, which forced the ball to go a bit wide. But good set up to go deep to Big O, who forced the ball down forward.
Ball will be brought back into play by Chris Carson. Carson will come up to the commentary box side of the ground, high ball. Tavi's at the back. He can't mark, knocked forward by Jordan Johnson. Now it comes out to Atavi. Back. Well done. Short kick by the young boy there in Carlisle Marks. Sliding in was McQueen with Jess. The ball up centre wing position, commentary side of the ground. 16 minutes gone, third quarter.
There are plenty of goals scored this quarter too, so the first quarter for 35 minutes too, Brad, so we might have a long quarter this one.
As Fitzgibbon goes towards Stevenson, he's held, and the umpire's paid the big man a free kick. He'll kick from about 30 directly in front. This will be his second. He shouldn't have a problem here, Phil.
No, great play by Big O. They just held his ground, and when you hold your ground you're that big, you're going to get a free kick, and by an undersized player just trying to get around you. I think it might have been a holding sort of a free kick, and Big Orange Stephen has a shot from about 15 to 20 out. Should be gettable goal, but the old legs hopefully get the distance from 15.
It'll be the first multiple goal kicker for the Lions of the day, and he's got it. Well done. They just continue to hang in. I love their fight.
I think that's a trait of the Redan Footy Club for a long period of time. They just a never say die football club. The players play for each other, and it's a good trait to have. But they're also playing another footy club that's got exactly the same traits as well. But they've probably just got a little bit more X factor about them at the moment for the 2021 season.
East Point 13, 10:88. Redan 7, 6:48. 17 minutes gone. Third quarter on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Matty Johnson taps it back. Umpires pull the free kick here against Matthews, and Lovett for high. Feeds it off. Now they're away towards half third. Lovett gets it out to Taylor. Goes in board to McQueen, right on the 50-metre arc. McQueen now has a player all on his own in the pocket in Ganley, and he goes to him.
The important shot, certainly Redan got the last goal, so Jack Ganley with a new haircut, a new style, will go back from about 35 out. Should be a gettable goal for players.
We're right behind him on this one, so we've got a great view of it. That is a lovely looking kick. Fades right in the end, but not a problem. And Ganley has got his second for the quarter. And as when Redan do make some sort of inroad and kick one, you'll be sure that East Point will come back and kick one more or less straight away.
Well, that's a sign of a good team. They just keep coming to the team all the time. But it was a really good setup there by the East Point Footy Club, and finish off by Jack Ganley.
14-10-94 East Point, 7-6-48 Redan. Just gone 18.5 minutes gone, third quarter, thanks to Ballarat Toyota. Now we've got rain. lights on and black skies, and it's changed dramatically as Taylor toe pokes it out towards McLean. It slides under the tackle of George. It comes out to Brown. He's swung around in a circle, but able to get his handball away. Brick is there in front. Gives it off. Now it ends up in the hands of Atchison, looking for Grant up on the half-back flank. Feeds it back. Now in the hands of McLean. McLean with a left foot kick up towards Brandon Green. Punched away from him by Loving. Beats Johnson and Atchison out over the boundary line with a boundary throw-in centre wing position. Outside.
The skill error has just been caused a bit more now because of the dewy conditions. The rain's still coming down, not overly heavy, but maybe enough for the players to be double touching the footy a fair bit.
Just like sleet, isn't it, at the moment, as Green wins that tap. Oh, beautiful hands out. Now they are away again, East Point. What a football side we're watching at the moment, as Atavi gets it to the ground and then wins it. Tackled by Atchison, that was Flynn. And he's got the free kick in the air for holding the ball against Atavi. So Flynn Atchison still inside defensive 50. Will kick across to Jenkins. Has a good lead from Harvey, who had to really lead hard and does so. And sees the kick from Jenkins. Short up the line again. Beautiful kick to Atchison. Loved his game for the Lions. This has really worked well. They've worked this well. Ends up in the hands for Bell. Bell around half forward will go long inside 50. Oh, Stevenson with a beautiful tap at the back, but no, Small really ran onto it. Now fed out through Canny. Kick outside, and there's Jones. Short wins it for the Dan. Jones tackles well. He's able to get his handball away though to Bell, and then Bell met very heavily was Harvey by Lukic. Harvey still outside the forward 50, around 65 from home. He's going to sit this up, looking for Stevenson. It's fisted away from him, and we'll have a rush behind.
Redan have done quite a good work with the short kicks at the moment. They know they can't go long because the way that East Point set their defence up, so they're looking for those short targets, and it's coming off quite well. Young Harvey's creating a few opportunities, and we've got a couple of players down after Big O cleaned a few up in that contest, and you wouldn't like Big Oram Stevenson running into you. I reckon you'd hurt many a play if that was the case.
He certainly did. He's collected Van Meel, and I reckon the other one might be Dellenberg, and he might be coming from the ground. Van Meel's up and about, moving around. And I'm pretty sure...
I think both players are coming off. Yeah, I think Big O might have got them a bit low across the leg area. Certainly on one of the players anyway.
It is Van Meel and Dellenberg that will come from the ground for East Point. As the ball back into play. Green, did he get his foot to it? No, he didn't. Jordy Johnson, great tackle. Quickly gives it off to his teammate in Nesta with a high kick inside 50, looking for two players there in McDougall and the Queen. But Redan are able to take it away up the line, but chopped off by Billy Jones. That was a smart kick along the ground. Now they'll go inside 50 again. Good punch from behind by Giampolo, but Ganley, who's had a super quarter, has put through his third.
Yeah, a great ground ball by Jack Ganley there. He's had I think 2 shots on goal this quarter, and both been snaps. Kicked 3 this quarter, so he's on fire. That's only 2 of those have been snaps on the corner, but showing the speed off the mark.
Sore at the start of the game. I noticed him limping now.
Yeah, no, I thought he had a stone in his shoe as well. Wasn't quite sure if that was Jack's normal gait. But if you're kicking 3 goals a quarter, Brad, you can limp all day, I reckon.
Exactly. East Point 15-10-100. Redan 7-7-49. 23 and a half goal in third quarter on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Jolly, beautiful tap again to Taylor, but it ends up in the hands of Bond for the Lions. He'll go inside 50. Here's where Chester can cause some trouble. He gets the crumb, slippery ball, and it wouldn't sit for him. So East Point are able to take that out of danger. That is a wonderful kick up towards the boundary. And the Queen's tackled overrun by Flynn Atchison.
And a small forward, that's what you just hate. The ball not bouncing the right way. Stephen Mills on the Football Club would have been a different story if it bounced the right way. And Dean Chester, if that bounced the right way, I would have been a certain goal.
Thanks for that, Phil. I'm a St Kilda supporter. I must sleep over that from 11 years ago. That was thrown out. Not Cole, Christian Cole, well done. Has Harvey to Atchison. Atchison on the left foot. He's just about Redan's best player. Goes high towards, and there's Chester at the front of Stevenson this time. Beats him out over the boundary line. Stevenson might have said to Chester, just hang around the front here. I'll look after you.
I spoke before about maybe the heavy legs of the Redan Footy Club on some of their players, but we've got those quick players that the Harvey that can run and Atkinson that can run as well, which is really putting him back into the game.
Stevenson wins that tap. He was looking for George. Lovig wins it though for East Point. Gets the kick outside their defensive 50. Jolly just done smart. Hard punch up towards the forward line, but Jess is able to mop it up as he receives it from Waterbury. He finds Fitzgibbon. Fitzgibbon inside with that short kick again to Jenkins. Jenkins, handball over the top. Matthews gives it back to Flynn Atchison. He's in trouble as he is tackled very well by Aiden Nestor. And the umpire said, yep.
Yeah, really good defensive team play by East Point there. Just that group tackling that's been rewarded. And you see him go towards the tackle.
Towards McDougall. Jones comes forward, liked his game, Canny. Canny now inside 50 with a beautiful kick, and didn't he just protect that front ball drop area at Harvey well?
Well, a really good kick by Liam Kenny there, just into space, allowed Big Otavi to run onto it, and again, an outsized defender had no opportunity there, and the big fella goes back for, this might be for his 7th for the day.
So he's got 3 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, and this could be number 2 as he'll kick from 48, missing to the right. So 52-point leaders, the Kangaroos now. 26.5-minute mark in the third quarter.
Now, Greg, we say 52 points, but if that scoreboard wasn't working and we had no idea, I would say the game would be a lot closer, and probably most of the spectators would as well.
Spot on.
Redan haven't been outplayed too much at all. Just that extra X factor, I like to call it, the extra special players that East Point Footy Club have got that are showing the way at the moment.
Spot on, Phil. The last game in round 10, they won by 84 points over Melton South, and I watched that game yesterday on tape, and they looked every bit of 84-point better side, but they certainly don't look the 52-point better side than Redan. Totally agree. The boundary throwing 70 metres around from the East Point goal, and let's remember too, they really are outside. Oh, he's done it again, Jolly, to Rotuma owners. Ends up to Fitzgibbon though. Hands out to McQueen. McQueen taps it forward. Hurry kick by the coach, Jim Power. Gets to Aberdeen. Now he has Harvey. He's had a great quarter, great game. Kicks it inside 50. What a beautiful kick towards George. Had to sit. Brown just did very, very well and able to spoil him. Handballs out the back. Carson gets a quick kick out towards half back, goes over the head of Ganley. Aberdeen's there for the Lions, slides in. It's going to come out to Ganley. He picks up, he's wrapped up by Wood. He'll go out over the boundary line. Or the boundary throwing centre in position outside.
Just noticed behind the ground, behind the play a bit, Brandon Green's gone down. It looks like a bit of an ankle injury. He's done a tireless job in the ruck today against Big Jolly, and Jolly's come off for a well-earned rest, but it's going to be interesting if Green cannot play for the rest of the game. What are the Redan Footy Club going to do in terms of ruck?
Got to be Jacob Short. Bond just took that boundary throwing.
Or would you just put Jolly on ice for the rest of the day? If I was a coach, I'd put him in the old Hills home for the rest of the night and let him come out next week. But he's done a powerful job, basically Green, trying to stop the impact of Jolly and the way he rocks.
Great call. Tardy gets it out the back to McQueen. McQueen was tackled without the ball, so he'll get the free kick. 55 out around from their goal. Yeah, they don't need to ruck now if they've lost ground. And as you say, Green will be coming back on the way he was coming off. What a kick, what a mark. And this time it's McDougall, who hasn't kicked one today, so he's going to try to chime in for one himself.
Yeah, really good leap, hit the ball at the highest point there, and certainly did give his defenders any chance now. He's 35 metres out, and he's not the most attractive kick in terms of viewing, but he's usually effective.
Here he comes. Very definite approach. Over the footy, as you say. Great looking style, but no matter how they get there, that's gone straight over the yellow hat of the umpire. And he gets his first for the day, Bryson McDougall. And this third quarter has turned into an absolute goal fest. We have had 7 goals from the East Point side, and we've had 3 from the Redan side. A 10-goal third quarter out here at Eastern Oval. 16-11, 107 East Point, 7-7-49 Redan on your Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
30-minute mark into this third quarter. We've got 35-minute first to get back, so plenty of stoppages this quarter, so you might see a longer quarter as well.
Overtime for you today, Phil. Out here.
Have to get our Macca's coffees delivered very shortly, I think. The delivery coming through.
As Lovey gets a kick forward, goes towards Ganley again. Geordie Johnson's there, so is Waterbridge for the Lions. Beats them both out over the boundary line under the scoreboard. Phil just said, nearly 31 minutes gone into this third quarter. 58-point leaders, the Kangaroos. Rain's held just slow. Looks like it's just a bit, very light drizzle now. Matty Johnson. Handballs to the outside to Atavi. Goes back in. Ganley to Dodd. Or was he pushed in the back? Not paid. Jess gets a kick out for the Lions towards half back and wing. Umpires pull the free kick. It'll go to Bell for the Lions. Deep in the shadows of the third quarter. Cold Eastern Oval here. Matty Johnson just gets across in front of short. Brantley Dunn hits it to Brown. Brown kicks forward, punch forward by Jess. Rodemanis can't pick it up. Geordie Johnson can with a spearing right foot. Does it get any better than that? And Brad Whittaker was on the end of it.
Yes, another bit of great play by the East Point Football Club. One thing I was really just watching there, how hard the forward line players and the midfielders push back to help their defenders. And that resulted in a quick turnover and resulted in this shot on goal by Bradley. Just because of the hard work by the midfielders pushing back and the half forwards pushing back to help their defenders out. And well-drilled team, and as we're seeing why they're one of the best teams in the competition.
Whittaker's third for the day. And right now, East Point do the math overnight and have it fall beyond the boundary next Friday episode, but their goal scoring power in the last 6 weeks has been incredible. They're now 17-11, 113 Redan, 7-7-49 deep in the third quarter on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard.
And East Point aren't just relying on Joel Lavardi either. There's plenty of players that can put their hand up and kick a goal. Brad Whittaker, Jack Ganley, you've got Bryce McDougall's got him there, Jake McQueen. The list goes on of players that can kick goals for them. So a multi-focused forward line, which is an advantage for anything.
Another beautiful tap to Johnson from the big fella in Jolly. Punched away by Britt in front of Ganley. Taking it out over the line was Ganley. It was Whittaker that Britt punched the ball away. So there might have been a change there. I'm trying to look who's got a Tarby right now.
He's gone with the ruck, actually.
He has.
He's gone with the ruck.
And Short has gone in there for Redan, which he had to, losing Green. takes the front spot. Matavi gets it to Rotomonas, feeds it out to Johnson, just about best on ground. He'll feed it back again. Comes back to Johnson from Nesta. High kick inside. Oh, unlucky Kenny got to the right spot. Rotomonas gets his kick away. Right on the siren, but he's missed to the left.
Been really impressed with Mikic today. He's had a good game, and just his ability to get first use of the footy off that ruck has been good, and he's a hard matchup. He's a big bodied player.
And at 3/4 time here at the Eastern Oval, it is East Point 17-12, 114.
Lovely place to bring your kids up in schools.
Architecture's the thing that's got me, Phil. Taking up many photographs, that's a story for another day, as George is wrapped up by Brown. Every time George has got the ball, Jacob Brown has been there blanketing him. He's been super as Harvey is bustled out by McDougall. Toe poked off the ground by Matty Johnson up towards half forward to the young boy in Carlisle Marks. Comes out to Waterbury. Waterbury back to Jenkins. Jenkins now. Just a short kick up the line. For Bell, but the Greasy ball goes out over the boundary line, out of wing position.
And Lockie George has gone to the centre. I think, to try and again quell that dominance of the ruck work there, especially with Green going off the ground, not returning, and short. He's short against Big Jolly, no doubt about that.
Yeah, the implications of these rounds today. Top 6, Ballarat sit back and get the bye, but there's no 4 points now for the bye because of the interrupted season. So Redan's sitting 6th. Can actually afford to lose because the side behind them with the bye don't get the 4 points and go above them. They'll know that, and that's handy, but you just, as you know, you just got to keep winning, don't you? You've got to win games. This is a very good side in East Point as James goes forward. Handball to the outside comes to Nesta with a high kick towards the goal mouth. Jess overruns it. Here's Ganley again. Just gets his kick to the ball and goes out of bounds. Right forward pocket for the East Point side.
And Redan's got the Ballarat Football Club next week, and no doubt the coach of Ballarat will be sitting down in his Chesterfield lounge at home, Joe Carmody. Probably not marking anyone's homework, but watching footy and getting a bit of homework on the Redan Footy Club for next week.
What a lovely guy he is too, Joe Carmody. As Waterbury gets a right foot check side pass to Atchison, smart kick. Atchison will take it outside, defensive 50 with an inside out torpedo punt.
The hardest kick to kick in footy, the inside out torp, I reckon, and I don't think too many boys and players try and do it on a regular basis, but it's a really unusual kick that...
Who do you follow in the AFL, Phil?
No, I don't follow anyone really. I follow the players that have gone through. I have probably got a bit of a soft spot for the Melbourne Footy Club, but I'm not quite sure about the Demons at the moment. I think they're just a bit of contenders for the finals.
Bond, handball. George again, he loves to do that. Just hit Nesta straight down the middle, fairly, I might add. Now, he goes back in and wins it to Giampolo, who taps it back. It's Chris. Harvey gets up limping, holding the left knee.
The wet conditions have really forced contested footy at the moment. As you can see, Lockie George trying to put his dominance on the game with a bit of body contact.
He loves it, doesn't he? As Jolly again to Rotuna Onus. It hasn't gone to Matty Johnson, it's gone to him most of the day, as Whittaker does well by tapping the ball out over the back and getting goal side, but Flynn Atchison gets a kick outside the defensive 50 up by, only pulled a free kick downfield here, and he has, so short kick, centres in towards Bell quickly. He's going to go to the other side of the ground now to Fitzgibbon. With a beautiful kick, takes the mark, next kicks the hard one as they set up so well behind the ball. Goes to his coach, Jarrett Giampolo, and the turn goes to Jenkins. Jenkins now over the back towards Chris Giampolo, who takes the mark inside 50 on the boundary line, about 30 metres around.
Smart, really smart player, Chris Giampolo. He's a really good levels player from the Horsham Demons Football Club, and moved down here for work. And he's just an inside player that can find the footy and very skillful. So I'm not quite sure about the distance for this one.
With the greasy ball, he just sits that up towards point of square, towards Stevenson. Harvey just couldn't get it. It slid away, and Johnson takes it through for a rush behind.
Good opportunity then for young Harvey if he put his body behind the footy a bit more then, just protecting the footy, he might have got through for a goal.
Back into play for the Kangaroos, up towards Geordie Johnson, goes over the back. Whittaker and Shorter there. Whittaker wins the ball, handballs back, but collected by Flynn Atchison, who's wrapped up by Darren Jolly, and he won't get out of that tackle.
And running the contest between the young bull and the old bull being Rocky George and Jacob Brown being the young bull. Just they're taking each other at the moment, just no doubt Lockie will be teaching Brownie a fair bit of how to play, but Brownie's probably showing a bit more of his leg speed as well.
I'm with you. It's been fantastic to watch that duel. Bale receives it from Atchison and then goes short to McLean, right on the arm. Yeah, every time George has got it, Brown hasn't been far away. There's McLean inside looking for Chris Giampolo. He couldn't hold the mark. Jordan Taylor mops up for the Kangaroos. High kick outside. Beautiful contest from Whittaker. Punches it forward to Brown. Brown gets a kick forward. Britt takes the chance. Well done. Meets it. Toe pokes it. Ends up in the hands of Flynn Atchison. Out to George. George with a high kick inside 50. Stevenson taps it out over the back. And Billy Jones will rush that over the behind line for the Kangaroos.
Great contest by Brad Whittaker. Probably knew he couldn't mark the footy there, but he thought, I'll make some body contact, get the ball to the ground, which he's been doing quite well all day.
Kangaroos back in, looking for Taylor. McLean chops that off. He's tackled, and Nesta is pleading with the umpire. There was nothing in it, but McLean will take the free kick, 50 out. Normally on a dry day, I'd say McLean would put this through post time. The greasy ball might make it difficult for him.
Yeah, I still think he'll get the distance. He's got that elite kick on his left, so and he's lining up like he's got a bit of confidence on it as well. So yeah, not going to put money on it, but he'll certainly get the distance, I feel.
In he comes. Lockie McLean, right on the chalk. He kicks that front, just pushes it to the right, comes out the front. McDougall. Handball out, Brown to McQueen. McQueen with a kick outside defensive 50, looking for Gardner, but it beats him and Aberdeen over the line. Boundary throwing right half forward flank for the Kangaroos.
Just with the work rate of the East Point players, just pushing up and getting into position around the stoppage. So they never stop working for each other, which is a really good sign for a good team.
Yeah, 2 premierships in a row, going for their 3rd this year after the COVID break last year, and they've made a late run and looked really good the last month or so as George wins the handball to McLean, gets it to Matthews, goes back looking for McLean. Matty Johnson's there, he's tackled, beautiful hands out, ends up to McLean again, ball spills free on the tackle, quick kick forward. Looking for Whittaker. Gee, he's met the ball well today. Whether it's been across the ground or up the straight lines, he's been super. Bond is in there. Johnson. As is Flynn Atchison wrapped up by Whittaker. Want to bounce down out of wing. Goes. Greasy ball bounces forward. Ganley. Handballs back towards Nesta. Solidly tackled by Flynn Atchison. The umpire says, I'll take that on the left half forward flank for the Redan Lions.
Good attack of the footy by Jake Ganley there. Just used his initiative to get in front of his player. Quick kick. He was the first one to move. That's why he got the first possession.
Johnson brings a tackle, goes to Aberdeen, handballs it. Errant handball ends up to Taylor. Whittaker was taken high, I thought, by Flynn Atchison, not paid. Toe poked off the ground towards the boundary line, or the boundary throw-in. Left forward pocket now for the Redan side.
East Point have been getting the first possessions and probably hitting the ball a bit harder today, I believe. Getting first use of the footy and giving options to their runners coming by, and that's been a great asset to them.
63-point lead to the Kangaroos. on 9 minutes into this last quarter at the Eastern Oval. The Ballarat Toyota live stream match of the day. Round 11. It seems like it's taken forever to get here. We've had a couple of breaks this year, but footy's back. Let's hope we can continue along this path, and let's hope that crowds can be back here as soon as possible. As Jolly wins the tap at the back. One there by Jenkins, but his kick has been turned over. And very difficult to see who that is on the outer side of the ground.
Is it Jordan Taylor
Or Lovey?
Cam Lovey, I'm not quite sure from here, but again you can see this, the great setup and all this of the East Point Footy Club defensively to just form that line, that defensive line that's making it very hard to get out of the back line.
Ends up in Atavi's hands again, had an alternative to get rid of it. The umpire said too long, and Harvey is the recipient of that. He's going to play on quickly, give it out to Jenkins on the outside. Yeah, I reckon for a good two. Gives it back to Harvey, to Christian Polo. Comes out to Aberdeen, met solidly. Now through the middle, comes out to back to Jolly. Jolly gets a hurried high kick inside 50. Whittaker, this is where he's been solid. Turns around, right foot, thank you very much, gets his fourth.
Some good agility there by Brent Whittaker. I think he's made a kick 3 goals to date, similar to that in terms of turning on a dime and having a snap. But just hitting the ball at 100% each time, not mark. So he's got 3 of his goals from ground balls basically, which is really unheard of for the big fella sometimes, but a really good piece of play.
Yeah, his recoveries very, very good as his goal target. So that takes East Point onto 18-12, 120, 7-9-51 Redan. We've gone nearly 11 and a half minutes last quarter on the Ballarat Toyota scoreboard. Seems like an eternity since the Lions' last goal. As again, they're going to go forward through Lovick. Goes up towards centre half forward. G and Polo is in there, as is Taylor. Feeds out to McLean. McLean on the right foot leg. Up towards wing, but it's picked up by Carlisle Marks. Goes back inside, keeps that in well. Oh, Atchison fell hard after that kick. Again, well done by Whittaker to spoil. Another good smother though there. It was off the boot of Carlisle Marks, and it was Jacob Short that smothered that ball out over the boundary line.
21 days of not playing footy, but I still reckon the intensity hasn't dropped from the first quarter, which shows a sign of 2 good teams, I believe, and they've kept it up. And yeah, certainly from the first quarter to now, the game hasn't stopped, and that's a great goal if it gets in.
Oh, just punched away. That was Canny, who's been good all day. Got the hurried right foot snap. It was Whittaker and Flynn Atchison see it out over the ball, boundary line. 20 around from the East Point of the Redan goal, sorry. Back into play. In fact, it is the East Point goal. I'm very confused here, Phil. As Taylor, quick hands out the back. Rodimer Onus been solid today. Just flick that back inside. Bond is there. And incoming again is Canny. Geez, I've liked his game. Canny, you know a bit about him, don't you?
Certainly do, yeah. Look, he's a great little player. Defensive player. The plot today has been really good. He's a never say die sort of attitude and the way he goes about it. So he's been really impressive today.
Oh, beautiful tap again. From Jolly to Matt Johnson. How many times have we said it? Because he has a snapper goal, but Flynn Atchison's able to rush that through from behind.
Players like Matt Johnson like they're just dynamite around the actual contest, but the ability to maybe kick a goal, a freak goal, which he does quite often, their goal. And a lot of clubs would want sort of a player like a Matt Johnson or a Geordie Johnson.
As Waterbury takes the mark. Defensive 50 for Redan. Gets it out to Zach Jenkins. Geez, he's been really good today as Jenkins, but he's turned that over and he's put it straight down the throat of Liam Canny. Now they'll go long inside 50. Oh, coming across was Atchison, that was Flynn. Jess mops up his spoil, really well done. Kick outside defensive 50. Hasn't got a lot to go to as Bond, so he comes back inboard. Then he has someone leading at him, but he decides to go high, and Jacob Brown was just able to come across and spoil over again that man in Lockie George.
He's been very good, Jacob Brown, today, old fella. But just his competitive nature, not to give up, and that dogged attitude that he's got to try and be the best he can be all the time.
How much does a young boy learn today from playing on Lockie George like that, Phil?
Oh, I think heaps. You walk away. Brady will get sore after the game, but just knowing positions where to run, and he probably hasn't seen Lockie in his prime, but been playing forward a fair bit today, Lockie. But yeah, I think any player playing on those experienced players, any experienced player will learn a lot.
As Atchison wins it for a down, but the handball's been turned over. Kick goes forward, Johnson hands out on the bend, was beautiful. Ends up in the hands of Rotuma Onus. He's going to go towards the big fella in Atavi who pushed Britt under the ball, but Britt was still able to get his hand onto it. He's given away a lot of height and muscle, and delivery inside 50's been superb, but I don't think he's been that bad, Britt.
No, he's been competitive all day, and look, I think Joel's kicked 7. I think he has at this stage, and Britt's held off a lot more than probably 7, to be honest. So even though Avadi's kicked 7, he's had a good day.
Comes out now to Dodd. Haven't seen a lot of him. I know he spent some time on the interchange. Gets a snap at goal, but Waterbury's given that up to Lukic, who kicks the ball into the post. And behind, as quickly Waterbury brings that ball back into play. He was looking for Fitzgibbon, but coming over the top was Geordie Johnson, who was just able to spoil that out over the boundary line.
Good vision by Geordie there. I actually thought he might have tried to take the mark. That's what he usually tries. He's got that X factor that can do things that other guys can't do, but good team play.
Not playing for Geelong today, with Geelong having the bye in the VFL, so Geordie Johnson here for East Point as Rotuma Onus slips over as he kicks straight into the hands of Short. Short now has Lockie George. First time he's had a bit of fresh air away from Jacob Brown. What a beautiful kick. Goes inside 50 looking for Grant. Just comes off his hands in the end, and the umpire has paid the free kick against Carson. He was tackled, just kept at it, Grant.
Yeah, that's a great attribute of young Isaac Grant. He just never gives in. He's one of those defensive small forwards, medium forwards that can take a mark, elusive around the ground, but when the ball hits the ground, the other team's got a chance. He'll be pouncing on all the time and has showing goal.
He's got one for the day that he got in the third quarter. There's a shot that pushes that across goal and behind. Just takes them under 7-10. East Point 18-14. We've got nearly 17 minutes last quarter here at the Eastern Oval in the Ballarat Toyota McDonald Ballarat Football Netball League live stream match of the day. Goes to the outside, good kick, and Lukic takes the mark. Left half back for the Kangaroos. He'll kick up the line. Comes forward now to Johnson again, gets a hurried kick inside 50. Whittaker and Flynn Atchison. Atchison slides in, takes it out over the boundary line, with the boundary thrown about 35 metres around from the Kangaroos' goal.
18-minute mark of the last quarter. Probably the boys will start getting into their legs now, I think, Brad. I think now the game's well and truly out of Redan's hands. They will probably try and consolidate and try and hold off any more score.
Gianpolo, it's Chris wins that from the boundary throwing, kicks it up the line. Rotuma Onus is there, he can't keep it in. Lukic is there, taps it forward towards Dodd, who's strongly tackled by a couple of lines. Jess is one of them, Waterbury the other. It's petered out in the end, but 70-point leaders, as we said earlier. It doesn't seem like that to the Kangaroos. As it comes out to Carlisle Marks, handball over the top to Geordie Taylor. Quick hands again to Matty Johnson, has a snap at goal. And misses.
As you said before, Brad, 70 points, it's a big score difference, but it's not what we see. I think it's a difference of about probably 4 or 5 players into the points advantage. The players that have played really well that have kicked goals.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're going to be really, really competitive.
I don't know if there's too many other clubs that will be able to stop the forward line of East Point right now the way they've set up. And they get an armchair ride from Darren Jolly, that's for sure, as Fitzgibbon wins a free kick in the defensive 50 for the Lions. He'll go up the line towards the wing, flying high from the back was Lappin, comes forward though to Taylor for the Kangaroos. Matty Johnson's there again, handball smothered by Bond out over the boundary line.
It's good to see some young players getting the opportunity to play senior footy. You've got Josh Carlisle Marks playing for East Point. You've got Finn Lappin for the Redan Footy Club. Guys that have been playing young lanes all year and a bit of last year, getting opportunities to play senior footy and learn.
Yeah, it's fantastic to see that the clubs give the kids a chance. And I was out here watching the East Point thirds here today, and they had a 35-point win. And boy, do they look good. They have a great bunch of kids still to come through. And I was told this morning that they had a few out. Obviously, Carlisle Marks playing in the seniors, and a few others out as Ganley will have a shot for his 4th.
Kicked 3 in that 3rd quarter, and now he's got his chance for his 4th. And
pushes to the left. It's very greasy out there now. That sleet type rain has been around since half time, and it's been constant. Not heavy, constant.
Go, Tommy!
Comes in. Short, punches that away from Ganley towards the boundary line. Christian Polar keeps it in, but the handball is astray towards Bond out over the boundary line.
This is where the East Point Footy Club set up really, really well defensively. Very well drilled in their stoppages. You've got a spare play at the back. It's a good boy from the clutches.
Jolly taps it forward. Jones is there. Toe poked off by Matty Johnson. Jess is there for the Lions, but it goes past him now. Playing for free kick was Geordie Johnson, not getting it. Waterbury punches it forward. Lukich tackle with not in possession, not paid. Waterbury tackled beautifully by Johnson. Quick flick, hands out towards Geordie Johnson with a high left foot kick towards goal, but it's going to carry out over the boundary line in front of Paddy Britt.
A lot of pressure being applied by the East Point Footy Club forwards there. Just get that ball in and keep it close to their goals, and Redan are really struggling to try and get it out of that 50.
Again, it's Jolly, but he's tapped it to his opposing ruckman in short, who ends up tapping it out towards McLean. Just taps it outside 50 towards Aberdeen and McQueen, but they'll be happy to see that out over the boundary line. Another boundary throw-in just outside the 50 metres mark for the East Point side. We've now gone 22 and a half minutes into this last quarter. Jolly tried to get that one out over the back, but it was probably a shallow throw-in. He's won it back though with hands to Rodimer Onus. Gives it off to McLean for the Lions though. Hurry kick forward up towards the ring. Taylor, handball, Jacob Brown. There's Chester, he overruns it. Flicked out now. And we'll just have Fitzgibbon, is it? Or Matthews it was, with Jones. Another stoppage. It's the big man Jolly and short. Jolly just holds that spot, gets the tap forward.
Good, Luca.
Kicked back towards centre half forward for Kangaroos, but McLean for the Lions with a long spiral that just skids inside 50. But it's all East Point here if they can just gather it and get it out of that zone, and they do with a good kick towards the wing. The falling Matty Johnson slides into that. Hard to pick a better player on the ground right now than Matty Johnson as he gets that inside 50. Britt comes out and meets it. Geordie Johnson ends up winning the ball at the front of the pack though. Carlisle Marks can't win it. Atavi's there, so is Aberdeen, who's wrapped up by McLean. And it'll bounce down 40 around from the East Point goal.
Yeah, Matty Johnson, certainly the first quarter was outstanding. Tapered off a little bit, but still in the top 2 players on the ground, I believe, at the moment. But there's plenty of other players looking for that man at the moment. They've been a good team.
One of which is probably Jolly, who mightn't do a lot in the way of marks, kicks, handballs, but he definitely gives his smaller players an armchair role because he wins that again, and McLean for the Lions takes it out over the boundary line, 50 around.
Yeah, that East Point ruck where they just leave a bit of a open space where they know where the hit zone is going to be, and they attack that hit zone with speed. And I think a lot of times they've got through the contest, through the leg speed, just purely for the fact that Johnny's hit that spot every single time.
Family. Handballs up towards Green, ends up in the hands of Ganley, who runs in for his 4th of the day. He likes it, and he's got it.
Doesn't mind the celebration, Jack Ganley. He's high-fived no one over that forward pocket. There's no crowd there, but he's happy to put his head up and show the crowd that he's kicked a few goals. So good work, Jack. You kicked 4. If you're half-forward flanker and you walk away with 4 goals, you've had a pretty good day.
Certainly have, and I know there's a lot of Geelong supporters in this area. They've had Hawkins, Cameron and Rowan that have kicked some bags at times and ended up with 2. Well, today you've got Atavi with 6, Whittaker with 4 and Ganley with 4. These are your Hawkins, Cameron and Rowan. They've been bringing up forward, that's for sure, and that's what worried me in the pre-game that we spoke about. How do you stop it?
Oh, then you had Jake McQueen in there, and other players like even a Geordie Johnson. How do you stop that forward line? And you get multiple goal scorers. It's very, very hard. And
Atavi,
see another one come through very shortly, I think.
Just bounced off his chest, but this is where he's brilliant. He just collects the second attempt, but he was wrapped up then by Jarrett Giampolo, and incorrect disposal, wins the free kick, goes short to Britt. Yeah, it's a super forward line, super midfield. They get an armchair ride from the best ruckman in the competition, I feel. As Jacob Brown, who's been so impressive, comes over that and just kills it out of the boundary.
You think come finals time that the conditions will be a bit better and the ball's going to be a bit drier, what team will be able to stop the East Point forward line? It's going to be very hard and very difficult.
And again, Jolly to Johnson. Johnson gets it inside 50. Comes to the front. Quick flick out from Canny. Hurry kick from Britt. Ends up in the hands of Atavi, but he's missed to the right.
Now, if Joel goes to Williamstown VFL next week or the week after, is that going to affect East Point a lot? Yeah, it will. But I think they've got players to cover that as well. They also always allow Joel to go play the highest standard footy he can, but I think come finals they will be back pretty quickly.
Yeah, and I think McDougall becomes a more of a target then too, doesn't he? Right now, McDougall's probably picking up the 4th defender after Atavi, Whittaker and Ganley. It's not a bad position to be in for. It's unbelievable. And I called East Point in rounds 1 and 5, 5 out at Melton and 1 here at against Sebastopol. And from my eyes, they're a 10-goal better side than what they were in round 1.
It's not bad being a half-forward flanker type. You know you're going to get the 5th or 6th best player line you every week. You think, I'm better than you've got a bit of confidence. But, you know, the best players are picking up their guns in the down forward, the Vardis and the Whittakers and size like a spare one like Brian McDougall.
And the other surprise for me is that Darren Jolly is playing this game out. 28-minute mark of the last quarter, and the 39-year-old is still out there doing as well as he was in the first minute. As Atchison brings it inside 50, but it's McDougall that's gone up the back, wins that. Come out through McQueen, is it? He'll kick this directly across the ground. I love Liam Canny's game. A beautiful kick to the space of his teammate in Nesta. Held with not in possession from Flynn Atchison, not paid. He didn't fall all that well. In fact, very awkwardly did Nesta fall then. Slow to get up. 29 minutes gone. Comes forward towards Johnson again. He's absolutely the Eastern Oval, where we see East Point 19-17, 131. Run out big winners in the end to Redan 7-10-52. And they didn't kick a goal in that quarter, the Redan side. They had a really good third quarter, but then they kicked their